Hello, BookTube. I just got back from a field trip to the Goodwill Outlet Warehouse. I went with Chris and Giselle from the Rose vlog. Uh, it's a complex. There's a normal Goodwill thrift shop, and then two doors next to it, there's a warehouse where things are unorganized and not put on shelves and much cheaper. And the books are three for $1. So in the course of only an hour going from the thrift shop to the warehouse, I managed to get an entire bag load of books for $9, which is not bad even for me. And so part of the purpose of the trip was to go there, show them the warehouse, and also see what I could find. Another part was to field test a new shoulder bag. And it managed to fit everything that I bought without needing a tote bag or a bag from the Goodwill. So I call it a success of the field test of the bag. But I thought I'd go through what was in here because I bought them so fast I'm not quite sure I remember. One of the fun parts of this particular trip was that I'm buying for you. Almost all of these books will go to the well over 700 people who are now on my mailing list for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So the first one was this beautiful, bright copy of Robert Massey's biography of Peter the Great. I have a hardcover copy out in the kitchen, but the used copy that I have had been in somebody's window, and the spine is faded to pink. You can hardly read the words. I figure since it's dirt cheap, I might as well replace it. Then I got this here, What Happened, by Scott McClellan, who was the press secretary and deputy press secretary for President George W. Bush, and gives an insider's view of all the stuff that happened in the Bush White House. And I've been looking for this used. I don't know what happened in my original copy, but some of you may have seen a post here on this channel or on Twitter that the new Gene Edward Smith biography of George W. Bush as president is, I think, amazing. And I'm going to review it. But in addition to reviewing it, I want to review the facts. So I'm rereading all sorts of Bush stuff. I'm not going quite so far as to reread Bush's own memoir or Cheney's. I don't think there's anything there that anybody needs to read. But I'm reading all the books around them. The critical accounts, the insider accounts, Bob Woodward's books. And this is one I wanted to get to. I was so happy to see it for 30 cents. Let's see, what else we've got here? Oh, yes, indeed. I have a young recipient, none of you, for whom I found wonderful kids' books in perfect condition for a fraction of what they're ruinously expensive in bookstores. Let's see here. A hardcover copy of Jeffrey Eugenides' novel, The Marriage Plot. Another novel, a beautiful paperback of Mark Halperin's Winter's Tale. Some of you will have heard about this from me before. I'm a big fan of it. It's a chunker, but it reads like a dream. And then look at this. This was all in one store, all at one time. The Lord of the Rings. For 30 cents a piece. These have the one of the rare instances where the movie covers are entirely bearable, because we all love the movie. Let's see here. The Tiger's Wife by Tara Obrecht. Great work of modern fiction. Here. This I don't know. It's called English August by Upamanyu Chatterjee. It's subtitled An Indian Story. And I just grabbed it because it was 30 cents. I've never heard of it, though. Let's see. Agastya Sen is a young Indian civil servant whose imagination is dominated by women, literature, and soft drugs. As the novel opens, he has been posted to a small provincial town in Madna. English August is a funny, wryly observed account of his year in the sticks. Huh. That sounds very good. I might read this first of all the things I got. This is from 1988. Let's see here. Yes, My Name is Red. Owen Palmer's great tribute to overplotted novels. One of you will surely get that. This is Harvest by Jim Craig. His quasi-medieval fantasy novel that I will reread this one before I send it out to one of you, because I remember not particularly liking it at the time, but also having a nagging suspicion that I was missing something. So I'll try it again. And this is Destination Morgue by the great James Ellroy. These are short stories by a guy who's famous for his surrealistic novels. This is someone I mentioned during Christianity Starter Kit. This is John Dominic Crossan. It's a very short biography of his of Jesus, subtitled A Revolutionary Biography, because he tries to stick only to the explicit historical record, which most people don't do when it comes to Jesus. Then there's a novel by Alison Weir. This is called Innocent Traitor. It's her novel of Jane Grey. I remember liking it at the time that I read it, and several of you, I mean hundreds of you, have requested historical fiction, and it's certainly a good example of that. Let's see here. Another mass market paperback of The Once and Future King by T.H. White. And this last thing is Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan Eckert, who I know as a biographer of Tecumseh. Did a great biography of Tecumseh. This is a YA novel about a boy who is adopted by a badger in the late 19th century. Ben disappears from his parents' farm, and they worry about him, but he's alive. In a story that would seem incredible if it were not based on a true incident, Ben is found and adopted by a female badger who has recently lost her pups. Ben survives an extraordinary summer in the wild, learning to live like his badger mother. The powerful bond that develops between the boy and the wild animals tests the limits of Ben's human spirit and makes his story unforgettable. Part of the reason that I got this, aside from the fact that it was dirt cheap, is that there's a new nature writing book, Being a Beast, in which a grown man attempts to enter into the mind frame of a wild animal, and part of the book is him attempting to be a badger, living in a den, eating earthworms, snuffling around the forest floor at night. And when I saw this, I immediately thought of that. And I also remember, I think, reading this once upon a time, a long time ago, and liking it. When did this come out? 1971. It was probably then that I did it. And there you go. That empties out this new bag. Look at that, huh? Full of goodies for you. There's only a couple things here that I'll keep for myself. So there you have it. That was a Goodwill outlet little expedition for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.